And I'm opening it up for question. You already asked a couple. So we'll start with that, Rosalind, and then I'll bring you in for chat. So, Rosalind, you asked, how do I determine which tools work best for me? What tools are you concerned about? Because honestly, you just need an email marketing system, like Campaign, like Aweber, MailChimp. If you just want to stay a little cheaper, you'll eventually be porting them over. But if you're just doing straight email sequence and an autoresponder, they sign up, they're going to get this sequence of emails. You can even start with Aweber. I am not familiar with MailChimp, but it's free for the first 2,000 subscribers. Oh, you can talk. I'm unmuting you.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I do actually have a subscription to MailChimp, but I haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, it looks a little complicated to me. Aweber is $19. It's a month or $25 now. I started with that. It was really good if you just want the basics, right? Someone gets on, you lead them through these marketing campaigns. It's going to be cheaper than ConvertKit, right? So you can use it as first, and as you start getting the leads, right, you're getting more people. They're different. Like some leads are this, some leads are that. You're getting them from different sources, and they need to come in from different sources. ConvertKit's good for that a little bit. And then when you really like, if you come in from my email, you need to go through this responder and not be touched by this. Then you get to Infusionsoft, which is a little bit more sophisticated. So what other tools were you concerned about that you thought you might need?
Yeah, I was just looking at, the ones with dealing with the graphics part, that stuff. Just, sending out the automatic emails and once you capture the email, coming up with the content, I think is probably really going to be my biggest struggle. It's just taking the time to sit down and brainstorm and getting ideas of what, I want to put out there.
Okay, well, let me ask you, are you comfortable with the whole idea of capturing the emails? Like getting them, right? Like setting up the boxes, the technology behind it. Is that okay for you right now? Like, or lead pages?
Yeah, I'm not sure because I would think I'd have to have something first.
You do. You do.
Track someone, to get there.
What do you mean first, as far as like an email marketing system?
Yeah, or just content, just an email.
Oh, good. Yeah. I would say you can collect the emails now. Right? But yes, I did not care about scaling up until we had the content right. Mm-hmm. So right now, if you're writing down on a piece of paper, if I just focused on content, I would say, maybe you have like an Excel sheet, or you divide your paper up into 4 quadrants. And one quadrant is share expertise, content marketing. The second one is emails to get on the phone with me. The next one is emails to promote maybe your Facebook page or something, or another social media, or a Facebook group, or a social media group that you might have. And you have another one that's, what are the 4? Let me see. 4 different subjects.
What was the second one you said?
Let me go back in the program so I don't miss anything. Sales, so your sales promotion should be one group, like promoting an item specifically. So sales, you can put it under promotions, right? So 4 different areas: promotions of some sort. Second column, strategy sessions. Third column, build other social media platforms. Fourth column, content marketing.
Okay.
So your content marketing is where you go, what do I want to share? What's helpful? What changes their lives? What don't they know they need to know? What's something I want to help them with? What's something that they don't get that I can help them with? You see, the key word is help, right? Help right next to that column if you did. Mm-hmm. What do I want to help with? Because at the end of the day, tell me 2 things off the top of your head you want to help the people you want to serve. You want to help them with something, right?
Yeah.
What do you want to help them with? I want to help you with this. You don't know this, I do. You're not doing this, I want to help. Tell me what those are.
Getting your books in order.
Okay. Why? You know it's important, right?
Yeah.
You know it is. What do you want to tell me? There's probably 8 or 9 or 10 things you can write about those, right? So tell me a couple things you want to tell me about why getting my books in order are important. Or something I have a fear about, or something I'm overlooking, or something I'm ignoring about getting it. Just something regarding about that. What's a couple of things that you would like to talk about?
Well, one, obviously it affects your taxes. You need to know your cash flow. If you want to scale up your business, you need to know what your finances are about.
Okay, and then let's go one step further. Why? And there might be 10 different whys, right? There might be 2, but why?
Why?
What do you alleviate? What do you gain when you're doing this? What insights do you get?
Well, you know how well or how poorly your business is doing.
Right. Those are 2 topics right there. Get your books in order so you know how poorly your business is doing. And flip that into a positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second email could be, get your books in order so you know how well your business is doing. Those could be 2 different emails.
Mm-hmm.
I would read both of them. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how I know how poorly. What could you say about that?
Well, you don't know who owes you money.
Okay.
The account is overdrawn. You haven't put any money aside for taxes because you don't have any money.
Are you writing these down?
Yeah.
What else? What else? So this is just one item. He said, if you don't have clean books, you won't know when your business is doing poorly, and you won't know, A, you're leaving money on the table.
Mm-hmm.
B, you're not putting money away for taxes. Three, your other point you made.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's flip that. You could probably go on for more, but I just want to get you into this exercise. And thank you for asking this, because this is something I didn't think about, like how do you get to the content?
Mm-hmm.
This is wonderful that we're doing through this, because I want everyone listening out there who will come behind you. This is how we get to the content. All right, so you know how well your business is doing. What do you do when you know how well your business is doing? And I know for me, I know, when my books are in order, well, I know that, oh, good, I didn't have that many expenses this week. Or I know if my expenses go up too much, I know I'm going to have to tell this assistant he can't work as many hours this week so that we're in line with my profits, right? But what would you say?
You have some cash in the bank, for one.
And what can you do with that?
You can invest it back into the business or pay yourself, which you should be paying yourself first anyway, but.
Right. So invest in your bookkeeping, keep them straight so you can pay yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That can literally be like a subject. You need to pay yourself. Do you see how you're starting to come up? Like, I'm very literal, and I think you are too. So I'll just say what it is. You need to pay yourself. There are people who are creative, and they're like, once a day keeps the paycheck away, or something like that. Like, they're cute, right? I'm not cute. So it really has to be you, because when they talk to you, they need to hear you. But, tell me a couple more things about getting your books in order, and then so you can know how well your business is doing. What other benefits? Because these are just one piece that all lead up to the big finale, right? It doesn't have to be 18 pieces in one email. Honestly, I don't want to make it 18 pieces because A, that's a long email, and 2, you're ruining content for the next 18 emails.
Right. Okay. Well, I would definitely say another benefit to knowing or, having your books in order, you know what services work and what services don't. Or the same thing could be applied to a product. You know, maybe it's time to shelve a particular product because it's not profitable.
Yes, I see an email for that. Subject, is it time to shelve the product? Right?
Yes.
Would you click on that? I click on that, and you just said it. What's the other one? Maybe it's time to let this one go.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you can present that in a couple ways. You can tell a story. I was working this one guy, and guess what? He had money he wasted, or he spent blah, 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 blah over this many months. When I straightened his book up and showed him that, he stopped it because it wasn't profitable. I'd like to help you become profitable.
Mm-hmm.
Will you click on this link and call me?
Okay.
And we can talk about maybe do a business audit or a consultation, and I'll see if I can help you. Now all of a sudden that's selling, but it's helping. It's like, I've seen this. I don't want it to be you, and you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do a couple more so you can get into the groove? This will also help other people.
I like the idea of the business audit. I wrote that down earlier.
Mm-hmm. My strategy session.
Yeah, using that to get the strategy session.
And then you talk about, you will create this content on what that audit will look like, right? And when we get more to the phone sales portion of this, we'll go into what questions you'll need to ask people before they even talk to you, what questions you need to know, so you know that you can be the right person to help them. Because qualifying is a big deal. Before I need to be, are you qualified? Like, can I help you? Like, if you want to do real estate investing, you only have $1,000, you're not for me. So that's, but it's what questions do you need to perform, like at 45 minutes, if we wanted to talk about your business, what questions do you want to ask them? Do you know which ideas are profitable? How many ventures are, I would think off the top of my head, how many different sales promotions do you have going? Do you know which ones are profitable or not? Do you know how much you spent on labor and costs each week to do it? Right? Like, if you're asking me those questions and I don't know them, by the end of that call, I think I'm probably going to pay you money to help me. Right? So that goes to that. But yeah, let's come up with some more ideas. Let's come up with some more. What else would you want me to know? And you saw how I took the one idea and know how your books are doing poorly, and you were going. You gave me 3, but you could have kept going, right?
Yeah, probably if I gave it some more thought, definitely.
Right? Like all the things you've seen, and you can story sell that. You could just list it out. Like, yo, if you don't do it, this is what could happen, right? All of these can be emails. So yes, I do source the content out myself, at least initially. I would say do at least 10 that are yours, and then you can start outsourcing. Right? So write down these main points so you know how well your business is doing. So you can pay yourself first is under that heading, right? So you have cash in the bank to reinvest. So you can reinvest in your business. So is it cash in the bank or reinvesting in the business, right? If I did the email, it's not the cash in the bank. It's the result. And reinvest in my business. Scale my business because you have cash in the bank. People want to have reinvest. They want to scale. They want to know what's working, right? So they could spend more money on what works. And that's what you help with, right?
Right.
So you see how you go from creating the content to what do you want to help them with? What's good about the service you provide? And you take what's good about it. Oh, well, you clean up your books. Okay. Clean up your books. Why? So you know how well or how poorly. Okay, for what? It's basically the for what. And each of those for whats are an email.
Okay.
Pay yourself first. Scale your business. Reinvest in your business. Those are positive. Sell this product. Is it time to give this up? Right? That could be an email. And so basically it's for what reason? Those are your emails. And if you want it, you can write all of these things and you can hand those off to a copywriter. Right? Tell them to think of stories. I like for you to do the first few yourself because they're your stories and your experience, and they'll sound real because they are real. But then you can start outsourcing. When I do my symptom emails for my business audit, I'll tell them, you know, hey, spend 2 hours looking up stories of people who had bad books and how that affected them, and create, 5 emails based off blank, 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 and blank, right? And then they can capture stories and create their own from what they've read. I'll pay for those 2 hours of research if you don't want to do it yourself. And I'm at the point where I don't do the writing myself because it takes so much mentally out of me to do them. I don't have time for anything else.
Okay.
So I don't do any emails now.
Well, that's where I want to get to that point where I'm not doing this. But I'll come up with maybe some ideas and let somebody else, write the stuff around the idea.
Yeah, you just give them a little bit of structure, right? You can jot down points, they create a story. That's why you like writers. They're creative.
Yep.
You tell them the point is to let them know this really happens. These are horror stories, but we can fix it. You know? You want to come up with more ideas?
Well, I just came up with one kind of topic, like, are you ready for a bookkeeper / accounting consultant?
Good. Let's talk about that. Why? What makes someone ready? Like, what would you want to talk about?
When, maybe when their revenue reaches a certain point that they can no longer monitor it, no longer control the money that's coming in.
Control. Oh, okay. Write that. That's one whole email on its own. That might be a few emails. Controlling your money. Do you have different examples of that? Like when you're not controlling it?
When people owe you and you don't know who owes you.
Don't know. Yeah, that happens. That does happen.
You have, a lot of invoices on your books that you haven't even, chased after.
And what happens to them in your experience? Because I like it to be based off your experience a little bit. So jot down those notes even if you outsource it. What happens? What has happened when that happened? They were more stressed when they needed to be, right?
Yeah.
They thought they didn't have money and they could have easily cleared up $3,000.
They didn't have any, an initial automated process of just allowing people to pay electronically. Some people, believe it or not, still wait for checks, instead of, sending someone a link to pay or capturing that information in the beginning before even performing the service.
Ooh, I like that. So, and here's the email thing. You would tell, hey, what technology are you using to capture the email? So this is the content in there. You could talk about, I like that one a lot. So what are you doing? So what you need to do is capture this information before you even start performing the service. Now that could go to a link to a web page, hey, check out my bookkeeping services so I can go over that in detail. It could also be, it can also be sign up for a business audit and we can discuss what type of automation you're using, right? So that could be used for like a direct link to a sales page. It could be used for sign up for a business audit. So we could talk about what automation you're using, right? And see if I can help you. So that can be a different type of email. It honestly could be, we're talking about this on my social media page, join in and contribute. Right? If you want them to build that out in case they get off your email list. So you see how that one topic can definitely be twisted in some sort of way for a phone sell, a direct sell, or even building out your platform because it's information people aren't aware of. Like, I might buy your services now. If you're just saying the books, whatever. Do you know who owes you? Are you automating it? Are you collecting money up front? Oh, yeah. I should. Right? So I can run the credit card myself. Right? Like it's common sense to you, but not to everyone else. Are you starting to get the the flow of for what?
Yeah. Yep.
And it might be, I would love for you to make a list tonight, right? Spend 15 minutes, honestly. See what comes out. Do those first. We can outsource the rest. Because I started with my own, and then I outsourced the rest.
Okay.
How do you feel about that now?
A lot better.
So we're going to be working together over the next 12 weeks. I would recommend taking an hour to 2 hours to do this. Do what you can this week.
Okay.
1 hour to 2 hours next week, if you can. 1 hour minimum, because you should be able to build out, either write the notes so you can outsource it or write it yourself within that time, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Just some, like not all of them that you have on your list, but some, and that's enough.
Okay.
What do you think of that? Do you feel more confident?
Yeah, definitely. I think once I get the initial flow of it, I can come up with some more stuff.
Yeah.
My brain is just blocked. my creativity.
No, you have it. It's just drawing you out of it, right? It's just drawing it out. What you think isn't an email, I'm like, yeah, that's a good one, right? It is.
Right.
It's just drawing you out. So let's do a couple more so this is really beneficial. What other topics do you have that you can think of? Something that's helpful, something that can alleviate fears, alleviate stress, where taxes are scary.
Yeah.
What horror stories do you have about taxes and what success stories? So basically horror success. Funny. Funny horror success. Right?
Right. Well, April 15th and you owe thousands of dollars because you didn't put anything away during the year.
Yeah, I've been there. This year, I didn't know I did that well. I scaled up that big.
And that's it. Not being aware of how well you did throughout
I have
the
someone
year.
weekly. Now I do a weekly summary. I do. But yeah, no, I'm like, what? How much? I was like, we're going to have to go into reserves. Empty the bank accounts. Yeah. So what you're doing is absolutely necessary, right? And then do you have any case studies? People you've helped who are successful. Like when I called into the video with you, I actually had my copywriter listen to that video and he wrote it down so I could put it on my website.
Yeah, I think I can come up. I think some of it will just be looking back at past emails from clients and picking up, creating a story around some of the issues.
If you want to outsource that, copy and paste all those emails, put it in a document, give it to your copywriter. I want to create a story about this case study.
Okay.
And tell him to research case studies to see the flow. I have case studies in between the case studies, like every half page. It's like, click here to do a business audit so I can see if I can help you do the same. Or I help this person with blah, blah, blah. Click here to see if I can help you do the same.
I also want to maybe in an ebook format, what do you need to get started when you start a business? What are the things that you need to know?
Free ebook.
Yeah, I thought about an ebook.
Or it could be a short ebook. Like an ebook could be 5 pages, whatever. It could be free. It could be a PDF.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So I have an ebook that you get for free if you opt in, but if you go on Amazon, it's like $2.99 or 99 cents. Or it's free on Kindle Unlimited, but they can always get it from my website if they give me their email, which I prefer because Amazon doesn't give you emails. And honestly, at the end of the day, I do more from your email than from one-off sale from Amazon.
I like that idea of selling on Amazon and then, I can get your email address and you can get it for free. I like that.
Yeah, either or. 99 cents, free on Kindle Unlimited, but not everyone has Kindle Unlimited, or opt in.
Okay.
This is good. I'm going to have this as its own separate model, like coming up with content ideas.
Okay.
But you see how they it's either build out your social media, it's either directly sales, like, hey, here's how you're missing out on money. At the end, click here to look at the services I provide to help people like you. Right? But when you're calling out those subject titles, do it. Like, say at the end, like, you need to shelve this product, or you invested way too much in this. Make it so people want to click on it, right?
Okay.
And how to get me would be to go, you have to use those terms. Stop leaving money on the table. how do you know, as a business owner, when do you know when to call it quits? Or like you're going to have to try different titles. Are you making sure you pay yourself first? I click on that, right? You're going to try different things. I'd click on one, but not the others. And you can get help with the copywriter again to like come up with these little kitschy things. Or you can do it yourself. I like for people to do it themselves a little bit, but once they get the hang, outsource it.
Yeah. Okay.
Was this good?
Yeah, it was, definitely.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and create the Facebook group. I'm actually going to edit this to clean it up. Thank you so much for being flexible with me. We can start next week again on Thursday. I just had a crazy experience where I was just out the game. I didn't work any hours Thursday. So
Wow.
I can do that, and the business still runs. I try not to because some things can get a little backed up. Like, Lisa, we need you to do this, right?
Right.
But you can, every now and then do it if you set this up the right way. So thanks for being flexible with me. I'm going to create a Facebook group. Maybe you can post your topics after you get them down.
Okay.
Right? And you got this from my other 2-hour entrepreneur video. Make sure every time you do something, if it's something you're going to be repeating, make sure you do an SOP. Like I have an so different email type of things. I have an SOP for symptom emails. I have an SOP for promotional emails, SOP for investing in easy monthly product launch emails, right? So make sure if it's something you're going to repeat, but in like a different setting, but with the same theme, you write out the instructions. If you do give it to someone, you do it in a way that's like you screen capture, use videos, show examples, tell them what the structure is. And that's how you do it once, but you're setting yourself up for handing this off unless you want to do this for the rest of your internet career. So for the first year and a half, I did my own emails. I don't do that anymore. Now that I know better, I'm not saying you to do this immediately, but know that as the hours start creeping up, you know what to fall back on. That's what this is. You don't have to do it now, but okay, I'm getting traction. I'm making money. I'm working a lot of hours. You can start falling back. At least you know how to start falling back.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, even now, I would prefer to outsource it because I have so many other things to do. And so I don't want to waste time trying to do it myself. Once I can come up with different topics and just say, here's the topic, write something.
Remember, tell them to research other horror stories too if they're going to have to create something.
Right.
Like, tell them to literally Google research horror stories.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're on this line. So thanks for working with me. So I'm going to package this all up. This is going to be eventually my online course. I'm going to start helping business women like you scale their online business and learn how to automate the process, automate what they're doing, or just give clarity to what you're doing and how it needs to focus on sales or building your audience so you can sell later. But everything goes back to sales. Does that make sense? It's 80% of it. And so I just really wanted to make sure it was real clear. So is it clear? Do you think this was helpful compared to what's out there on just giving you structure on what you need to write and why you're writing it?
Yeah, I definitely do think it's very clear. This has definitely been helpful and a good eye opener for me.
Good. You feel empowered now?
Yes.
Okay. I would, if you have time, I would do it now while the going's hot to at least jot down those things, right? How your business is doing poorly. You thought that might have been one email. That's like probably 40.
Right.
So in your experience, go back. How has it showed if your business is doing poorly, either not having a bookkeeper or not, how did that manifest? And at the end, that could be an email to business audit. It could be an email to go to the sales page. That could be an email. Do you know what I mean? Do you have my Facebook group so we can talk about it?
Yep. Now, you mentioned something about LastPass. I meant to ask you this before.
That's how I share my emails.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What level do you have? Like, what subscription? Because I was thinking about doing something like that now that I have somebody.
Oh, it's $12. I'll pay the $12.
Okay.
I spent $12 on crystals. Like, tiger eye. Like,
yeah.
it is so cheap. I'm glad they're not raising their prices because I'd still use them if they did.
Okay.
And I just have all my sites. I have 8 different workers. And now it's at the point where, like, I don't even make pages. Like, I was looking at that email. I was like, oh, this is the first time I'm reading it. So, you know, I always tell people expectations with outsourcing. Sometimes you're going to do stuff you would never do, or it's not professional because they're a college student and they don't know. So you're just going to go, oh. But, you know, as long as it's not crazy, you know, it doesn't take the business. It's, no, I wouldn't have done that. Oh, they might think I'm ignorant. But that, you know, when you start outsourcing, you just have to give it up. And, you know, do I take back that 5 minutes of chagrin that I had to fix, or did I want to spend 3 hours doing what they worked on, but they got that?
Right.
And that's business. And you can do this. And I love working in my business, right? I love when I find new ideas. So it's not like I want to work 0 hours forever. I think what I'm doing is important. I think I have a certain gift, right? And I want to bring the clarity I wish I had to market. But we're not doing 16-hour days anymore. We're not doing.
Right.
That's what I want to help people with. I need more women like you who are making money, but you only work 2 hours.
Right. Yeah.
Let me go to the Bahamas together.
Yeah, definitely trying to get to that point.
Okay. Right? Like, yeah, let's go to the Bahamas. Oh, I'll work a little bit, maybe a couple hours. Right? But you don't have to.
Right.
All right. So enough for today. I gotta make our Facebook group so we can communicate. But thank you so much, and thank you for being flexible. And we're gonna do this. I can't wait to see where you're at in 12 weeks. But yeah, if you can't get those topics down at least, if that's what you're gonna outsource, get those down and post them tonight when I get you and I send you an invite to the group.
Okay. All right.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. How long was it?
2:30.